It's a story of the failure of faith. It's a story of the faltering of faith. In chapter 12, it's not good in chapter 12. Abraham's faith failed or faltered, but God's faithfulness did not. God's faithfulness did not, and he rescued him. But as he returns to Canaan, he is probably painfully aware of that failure. We can all be like that, can't we? Maybe you're painfully aware of some failure yesterday or last week, or some faltering of your faith. You didn't do very well. Yet, we see how it turns to good. Because he uses that sense, I think, of failure to return to the Lord, to renew his faith, to refresh. Chapter 13 is a much better account of faith, living faith. He is living by faith in chapter 13. In chapter 12, not so much. Not really. So what does he do? Well, first of all, he makes for the place where he had first called on the Lord. That's his priority, to get back to the Lord. He knows he's failed, he's fallen away. And he goes to that place, that special place, where he'd first built an altar, verse 4. There Abraham called on the name of the Lord. He gets the Lord back in his vision. Be thou my vision. We're going to sing that later. His faith had slipped. It had faltered, but it was only a temporary blip. And now he comes back to the Lord. He comes back to worship the Lord in this special place. Now, perhaps you have a special place. You don't need to have one because the Lord is Spirit and you can find him anywhere. But it's also okay, I think, to have a special place. The Lord Jesus often went to lonely places where he prayed. He didn't lie in bed and pray there. The Bible does say you can pray to God in your room. That's fine. But sometimes it's good to get out, isn't it? I certainly appreciate that. I have for many years to be out in creation, in nature, and try to meet with the Lord there. We find later on that Abraham's son Isaac did this. He went out in chapter 24 to the field to meditate, to meet with God. And later again we know that his grandson, Abraham's grandson Jacob, had a big encounter with God by the brook of Jabbok. Do you remember? But by the river. That's in chapter 33. So it seems like son and grandson was sort of following in Abraham's footsteps. Some of us have found the outdoors a really good place to meet with God. For me, it's the fresh air. It's the signs of God's glory in creation all around me. And it's getting away from all the distractions I have at home. It's a good place to be, I think, to help us focus on God and get back to him.